Today on the channel, at ease disease, as we got the leader of the Mad Marauders in Sergeant Slaughter.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got one of the all-time greats, What's a Nemesis Enforcer himself. We got the Mad Marauders version of Sergeant Slaughter. But for all your Sergeant Slaughter needs, make sure you're hitting up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. And that's exactly what I did. Bought this from DJC Collectibles, shipped to me. Here we are today on the channel. And Sergeant Slaughter, no stranger to the Joe line, no stranger to the wrestling line either. I'm here for it. Always love Sergeant Slaughter. However, I'm one of the ones that likes Slaughter more from his G.I. Joe days than his wrestling days. But I also had this Sergeant Slaughter as a kid. I had the Triple T. I had a lot of versions of Sergeant Slaughter, and just definitely fun to see a G.I. Joe character come to life in Sergeant Slaughter. So there was a lot of fun stuff around the Sarge, basically my whole entire life. And just weeks ago, here on this very YouTube channel, I did see Sergeant Slaughter over at San Diego Comic-Con. We even got some video of that.
Sarge, it's your buddy Kyle here. Sarge, the people want to know, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? Ask for the people. The people want to know. They all want to know, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? Sarge, what a legend.
Still trying to get down to the age-old question, Sarge, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? And it all goes back to many years ago, many years ago, maybe over 5 years ago now. I told Sarge that, Sarge, I want to talk to you about your greatest fight, your greatest battle you ever had. And I thought he was looking at me like, oh, he's going to ask me about the Hulkster or Pat Patterson or something like that. And then I hit him. I hit him with the 1-2 punch. How about that Nemesis Enforcer? I can't believe you beat that guy. And he just looked at me, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? Now, many years later, he knows what a Nemesis Enforcer is. I tagged him. I said, Sarge, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? I tagged him on X, SirPaul64, and he reposted and even responded and said something to the effect of an overgrown bat with big wings or something like that. So he knows what a Nemesis Enforcer is. But old Sarge and I going way back, and it's always funny. Whenever I see him, what's a Nemesis Enforcer? So by now, he thinks I'm some absolute crazy person, I think. Why does this guy keep asking me every year what a Nemesis Enforcer is? And San Diego Comic-Con, no different this year as well. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Some little comparisons later on in this very video as well. Now, this version of Sergeant Slaughter, much like the last one, a Fan Central edition. So you're not going to find this at Target or Walmart. Basically, everywhere else is where this one will go to. That's just the way it goes. And this is a deluxe figure, so you get a lot of different accessories with this one. We were used with kindness. That is the Joe brand, after all. But a nice boxed out figure right here, looking good. Of course, G.I. Joe logo. Holding strong down there at the bottom. Big bubble window. Be great for Sarge to sign. All kinds of stuff going on. There is a little bit of a caveat with this one, is this is the first round of these figures. Now, I'm probably doing something stupid. We'll see. I do a lot of stupid things here on the channel. But this is a very rare one, or should be more rare than the other version, as this one came with his campaign cover, which I've never understood. Why do they call a hat a campaign cover? I'll never understand that. But I guess most will be released. There's going to be, of course, a fix to this, that he will be with his hat on in the package. As you can see, it's not on here. I guess Sarge said, oh no, you put me with the hat on. So this is going to be a little bit rarer than the other ones. Part of me says I shouldn't open this, but like I said, for science, we got to do it. We're like a young Beekman's World over here, right, Mark Summers? Oh, yes, we're like a Mr. Wizard. Of course, he always brings it back to Nickelodeon with Mr. Wizard. Mark Summers, of course, Double Dare's own, Unwrap's own, one-man show own on the couch here today. And Todd McFarlane looking very bored over there, clipping his toenails. Oh, it's a power move if I ever saw one. Good to see the boys on the couch. Good to see Sergeant Slaughter back at the review table here. But good packaging design. Number 129 for those keeping track at home. Nice artwork for Sarge there in the blue. I love Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders as a kid. It was a way to get figures that you missed out on in their original release, like Mutton Junkyard for me. Got him in the Slaughter's Marauders gear. Have to imagine Mutton Junkyard will be in this in the future. Stay tuned for that, I guess. on the side. Get some of that stuff going on. QR code if you need it. And there's old Sarge looking good. Got his bag going on, an itty-ditty-bitty bag. I don't think so, but he's got that going on. Got a swagger stick, all kinds of stuff. Jibber jabber for days down there as well. But number 129 is the Sarge. See you later, Spider-Man style. I'm going to slide the Sarge out, maybe. All right, that works too. See you later, goodbye. See you later, goodbye. And then we get Sarge, all kinds of stuff. Quite the loadout for Sergeant Slaughter right here. A lot of accessories, a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to pop it all out. We're going to get popping is what we're going to do. Maybe if we can fight through the tape, fight through everything else. He's got two big old dumbbells here. Like I said, we got a lot of reuse going on with this one. We've seen a lot of this stuff, be it from Sergeant Slaughter already to guys like Big Boa, things like that as well. And gosh, there's a lot. Not easy to get out of here. Very tight plastic. I feel like I'm opening up a Todd McFarlane. Hey, put those toenails in the garbage. Don't put them in the carpet. Oh, the dogs are going to eat them? The dogs, oh, they love toenails. Oh, man, that's good eating for dogs, I'm sure. But, yeah, clean up after yourself, Todd. I know you're a man of cleanliness. I know you are. I know you are. Uh-oh, got a little tape sticking through here on the old swagger stick. Get the Sarge out of the package. We're almost there. Almost there. Can we get the campaign cover? Don't call it a hat. It's a campaign cover. Glasses. And then finally this whistle. All right, how am I going to get this whistle out? Every gym teacher's dream, a nice little whistle. There it is. Got it all out. Up high. See you later. Goodbye. All right, let's get down to it. Let's get down to all these accessories. There is a lot going on, a lot to talk about here, a lot to dive into. And I guess we'll start with the hands is where we're going to start. Two gripping hands right out of the package there. But then we get the maniacal. I'm going to wrestle a Nemesis Enforcer hands over here. Looking good. Thought these were middle fingers at first, but nope, they're just giving you a what you gonna do, brother, like his old enemy, Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do, brother? He's got those hands going on. He's gonna put Lieutenant Falcon through his paces. That's what he's gonna do. Of course, can't have the Sarge without Fists of Fury, 2 fists for Sarge. And then you get the 10 Hut hand where he's gonna salute somebody, or this could be the deadly Hi-Ya hand. He's gonna give you the old Hi-Ya karate chop. Very cool. A lot of hands here with the Sarge. And we know from the G.I. Joe Classified line, we don't get a lot of extra hands and removable hands. Every once in a while we do, but not like the Marvel Legends or the WWE Mattel where you get hands with every single character. We normally don't get that. Now we do get a whistle here going on. Of course, Sarge putting the guys through his paces. Got the whistle going on. It's official right there. You do get the sunglasses, the shades for Sarge here. Blue lenses on this. A fashion icon, if there ever was one, is Sergeant Slaughter. Got the gold rims and then the blue lenses looking very nice. Of course, we do get the weights, once again, just like Big Boa, reusing with kindness. I always look at these and like, 6 pounds, what's he doing? But of course, 90 pounds is what these are supposed to be. Back in my day, I was curling 90 pounds. Back in the younger Kyle years, when I was a maniac out there in the old powerlifting stations and stuff. But Sarge keeping it trim. He's got that going on. Definitely cool. You can always use those with different toy lines if you want to as well. That's pretty fun if you ask me. He does got a weapon here. Isn't this like a Russian gun or somebody? I think somebody said it was like a Russian gun or something. I don't know what it is. But we do got a magazine here. And of course, keeping it on brand, he's got a copy of PWI. It looks like it's autographed by Bill Apner. Oh, shout out to Bill Apner right there. We do got a magazine that attaches in, all in kind of a grayish color. I think the top, yep, the top comes off that little sight right there. That is removable if you want to. So on brand, reused from the old Sergeant Slaughter figure we saw last time. We do get that swagger stick. This time got a little blue color on it. Nice handle at the top. Got a little bit of a gold ball at the top as well. And a little bit of rope at the bottom. We've seen this before. See it again, this time in blue. We do get the little Mad Marauders. And I miss Slaughter's Marauders. It's always Slaughter Marauders to me. It's always Nemesis Enforcer to me. It's not this Mad Marauders. It's not this Nemesis Immortal business. What are we doing? You're not revising my history. But we got Sergeant Slaughter. Little action figure once again, this time in blue. Once again, when else are you going to use this? You got to put this with this. That's the way it's going to go. A very cool one here is you get blue boxing gloves. So you can have him and Big Boa square off, I guess. You can have him captured by Cobra. They put him in the octagon or the boxing ring, whatever you want to do. And he does have these to take on Big Boa with. So a little different, but a kind of on brand. It's a little bit of a stretch, but not as big of a stretch as it would be if you gave those to Duke, where Duke would say, what are these? I don't even understand what these are. That's what Duke would say. He'd be confused. What's a boxing glove? What's a UFC glove? Duke wouldn't know those kind of things. A guy like Flint, though, man, Flint would know. He'd say, oh, boxing gloves? You want to go, Sarge? And then Sarge would say, whoa, 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 stop the clock. I don't want anything to do with you, Flint. I don't want to die today. That's what he'd say. And that's how we know, because Flint, salt of the earth, as we know as well. We do get the backpack here, USA, got a handle on the top, handle on the back, so you can put this around his back. He can carry it like this. He can put it over here, and you can store all of his accessories in here if you want to. So I'm going to put all these extra hands, everything else inside here. Nice to be able to store everything on the character. We always say that about the classified line. We get that going on right there. Now we're getting to it. A lot to talk about with this one, but we do get Sergeant Slaughter here. We do got his campaign cover, his hat here, of course, looking good. And, of course, Sarge likes to wear his hat. Everywhere he goes, he's got the hat on, of course, but does fit on there, of course, like his last one did. Same kind of thing. Of course, got to get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes. But now we got old Sergeant Slaughter here, and I got to say, Sarge, he needs to see the sun a little bit. He's a little white, a little too pale. Would have liked to seen a little bit more tan on this Sergeant Slaughter. He is a beefier figure, though, in the classified line. Makes sense, Sergeant Slaughter. He's got to go toe-to-toe with a guy like Nemesis Enforcer. He's got to be jacked. He's got to be bigger, and he is full of muscles right here. Head sculpt, I know this is Sergeant Slaughter with that big chin and then the mustache that kind of goes down a little bit, and then those eyes. I know Sergeant Slaughter here. They were very nice to him in the hair department. No balding, anything like that, just a short hair there, looking very good. You got 2 eyes, got 2 ears, got a nose, got a mouth. You got those Sergeant Slaughter hits being played here today. He's got his wife beater on in blue, got a little American flag up there on the chest. He's ready to go. He's ready to represent his country. He's a little bit looser than I would like. We see that from time to time. He's got a little those frog legs going on. It's like you're at the old fishing hole as a little kid and you're reaching in. Oh, I found a frog. I found a frog. And he's just kind of wiggling them feet like that. You grab him and then you just bite into him. No, you don't do that. I don't know what you do with a frog. I guess I would just say, there you go, throw him back in the water. And you just kind of had him for a second or two. But he's got those frog legs. That's what he's got going on. He does got a little bit of butterfly, not a ton. You got the arms that go around. You do, of course, got the bicep cuts. Double jointed, pinned elbows. Very disappointing. I see the disappointment on your two's face. Oh, you're bleeding? You got into the quick, Todd McFarlane? Is that what happened? Todd's got disappointment because he's bleeding over there. And please don't get blood on that yellow couch. It'll show real good. So clean up after yourself, Todd. Mark Summers, you're just straight up disappointed. You don't like these pin joints. You want pinless, just like me. I hear you. I hear you, man. Hands back and forth, side to side, removable. He does got a little wrist tape here. I thought it was a watch for a second. Straight up wrist tape in black on both of these. Does got side to side. You got that ab crunch, like I said, a little looser and noisy. Noisy in that ab crunch there. Got those big old Sarge splits, man. He's ready for that pummel horse. He's going to put him up like that. He's going to bring him together. He's just ready for the Olympics. Sadly, the Olympics just got over. Maybe in 4 years he'll be part of that. I'd love to see Sarge do the floor exercises, of course. Drop down hips like we're used to with the Joe team. Leg does go up. Thigh cut. Double jointed. Pinless knees. I'm here for that. At least we're better. Wipe those tears away, Mark Summers. And wipe the blood away, Todd McFarlane. Boot cut, ankles back and forth, side to side, up and down. The usual articulation we get with the Joe brand. And of course, does he fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand? Make sure you get the Mattel one. Make sure you use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. What do you know? Sarge fits right there. Fits real good. So Sarge, a really old hat. No pun intended. We saw this before. You get a couple extra bells and whistles with the Mad Marauders version here, but it doesn't hold a candle to the classic one, and I got the classic one right here, but it's all about sub-teams with the Joes. You put this with the core Joe team, you put this on the Mad Marauders. When the chips are down, you need another team, you put this with the Slaughter team, and Slaughter a guy with 2 team. Where's Mercer? Where's Taurus? That's what we need. We need those guys. We need that crew over there. We'd love to see those in the classified line one of these days. That would be great, but for right now, we got the Mad Marauders, and hey, I'll build out the Mad Marauders all day. But there's the original Sarge. And speaking of his team, we just recently unboxed Spirit. And of course, Low Light, a 2-pack from Hasbro Pulse. Check that out if you did miss it. And then we got 1-2 Barbecue, of course, from Target a couple of years ago at this point. So we got 4 members of the Mad Marauders. And like I said, I could really see Mutton Junkyard probably getting the repaint treatment coming soon. We'll see what happens. We'll stay close to that. And then, of course, I did grab Big Boa here, so you can have him square off with Sergeant Slaughter. They can have a boxing match if they want to, and really anybody could have a boxing match. You pull the hands off, heat them up maybe on some of them, but you could have anybody boxing if you really wanted to with these extra gloves. So pretty cool, all things considered. And anytime there's a Sergeant Slaughter figure, it is pretty cool. For a kid of the 80s like me, who loved him in G.I. Joes, liked him enough in wrestling, but the two worlds, two of my favorite childhood worlds colliding, was always a pretty cool thing. Still a cool thing all these years later, and the Mad Marauders edition is pretty awesome. Be very interested to see if we get more Sergeant Slaughters. If they're going to do another one, I would want the look where he was driving the Warthog. Remember that vehicle? Loved that vehicle as a kid. Would like to get that version of Sergeant Slaughter for the next one, if there is a next one. But it sounds like he re-upped with Hasbro, so wouldn't be shocked to see another figure or two from the Sarge in the future. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But as far as the Mad Marauders go, pretty much what you expected it to be, and that's not a bad thing to get what you're expecting it to be. So there it is, Sergeant Slaughter, Mad Marauders, Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders at the end of the day from Hasbro. But what's your thoughts on the old Sarge here? You picking this one up? You good with this one? I can see a lot of people saying they're good with this one. But let me know your thoughts on this Sergeant Slaughter in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. Of course, my Patreon channel, you get early access to both YouTube channel videos. You get all the glamour shots, all the bonus stuff, dog stuff, pizza stuff, monthly Q&As, monthly giveaways. A lot going on the Patreon every single day. Check that out, of course. ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Pick up a t-shirt, support the channel. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Sergeant Slaughter and the Mad Marauders, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.